Hello, hello, everybody. Will be just a moment before we begin. Apparently, now the platform that I use, StreamYard, you can go live on also Instagram. So there's just a little extra step involved, which is what I'm taking right now. So thank you so much for joining me. And here we go. Welcome, everybody, to this impromptu live on what is hard for you right now. This live sort of came about from a conversation I have oh so often in my classes, in my client sessions, is one of the things that I notice come out of people's mouths, including myself, so often. And it's such a quickie way to catch ourselves in the middle of something. And what is it that we say that comes out of our mouth like oh so often and almost on an autopilot? It's so hard. This is so hard. And irony is that I started doing this live, and for the first time, I was playing with doing the live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And it's the first time that I connected Instagram. So there were some glitches. It didn't actually really work out the first time I tried it because there was like this echo and stuff like that. But I was noticing that the irony is that I'm talking about the point of view that this is so hard, and I was noticing how I was going almost towards that, being like, "This is so hard. Why is it so hard?" And then I was like, "Oh my god, I'm doing that." So I'm sort of like being totally autistic and approaching this conversation from the beginning and end all at the same time. So let me slow down a little bit for you here, and let's look at what is hard for you right now. And just to give you a heads up, by no way am I diminishing or saying that things that might be hard, and I'm saying that in quotes on purpose, with all love and all compassion for the space we are in when we feel like things are so hard. But I really want you to look at this today that things that appear to be hard or things that are difficult for us, or what I like to honestly look at, from a different point of view, things that are intense for us. Oftentimes, it's just an intense space, energy, situation, and we give it the meaning that it's hard. But this is what I want you to look at today. What does taking a point of view, yes, I'm saying the point of view. What does taking a point of view that it's hard do to us? What does it create? What occurs when we look at things from a place of this is so hard? And so this is where I wanna yesterday I was facilitating a class, and in that class this conversation came up again because I was noticing that the participant that I was talking to was, without even realizing, using this word so often, like this phrase that it's so hard for me to do this, and this becomes so hard, and that is so hard. And it's something that if you were to pay attention and listen to, you might notice, you'll be surprised to see how often we say things like that as if they're facts and they appear to be like facts. So when we say that this is so hard, it really does appear like what we're narrating is a fact. But is it a fact? What is a fact? A fact to me is basically when we strip off all the connotations we attach to a situations, all the points of views that we attach to a situation, all our conclusions that we attach to a situation, and just look at the raw data of what's going on. Facts to me are neutral. Like facts will not create any sense of intensity in your space or any sense of emotion in your space. If you're looking at something and you have some sort of like emotional charge going on, like feeling sad, feeling frustrated, feeling whatever you're feeling, then you're not looking at the facts. There is some sort of point of view, judgment, or conclusion attached. And so, like, a fact could be that you had an accident and you broke your leg. and you have like a cast or a plaster that's holding your leg in place right now. That's fact. Everybody could agree. That's like literally breaking it down to what actually is. So like everyone would be like, yeah, that's actually correct without having a charge to it. A point of view would be, this is so difficult, or this is too much. And these are, I know, very, very subtle ways, and we're really going deep. These are some really core coaching conversations that I am sort of risking to have in like an open public platform space right now. But also, I really want to invite you to look at this because this is something that I most often in my sessions, in my classes, notice and invite people to look at. So yesterday, when I was with this participant, and I asked the participant to look at, hey, do you notice how often you say this is so hard? And let's get curious about this. What is hard? Is hard a fact, or is hard a point of view through which you're looking at something? What are you making mean hard that might just be intense? Like, truly, I get it. Living is intense. Being an adult is intense. Creating a business is intense. There are lots of things that create intensities. But look at this. The moment we give that intensity the meaning or the definition of hard, that this means hard, or this is showing up and this is so hard, anytime we equate that sentence with anything that's intense, look at what that creates. And so for that, I want to share an example that I shared with in my class yesterday, which is, let's just arbitrary example. All right, let's look at, well, I sort of mentioned earlier as well that there are two people that got into a terrible accident. Okay, and they broke their bones, and both of them, like maybe one worse than the other. So maybe the one that worse, that got like some, broke their uh hip, broke their leg. Let's just say they broke two bones. We call them person A. There's another person who broke their ankle. We call that person B. So they had this terrible accident. Things, whatever. One thing led to the other. They broke their bones, and so person B is, you know, their ankle is broken, they have this heavy cast on it, it's just sort of like the wound is fresh, so, that vulnerability of, like, an open, fresh wound. It's technically not open because there's, like, this plaster or a cast that's now supporting it, guarding it, but person B says, "This is so hard, it's so painful, it's hurting so much." And the irony is everybody in the world would agree and sympathize, right? And also, it's not no, it's not wrong that they're, just a heads up. I'm not by any means trying to say, look at this pathetic person taking this point of view at all. All of that is super judgment that we place on things. I'm just sharing this example to sort of bring to your awareness the point I'm trying to make. So let's say person B is like, this is so hard, this hurts, this is horrible. How could this happen to me? It's gonna take forever now. I'll not be able to play football. I cannot do this. Like, and whoever's around them, they cannot really argue that, right? You cannot really argue someone who has that pain and intensity going on if they say this is so hard, this is not fun. Not fun still has a lot less charge to it, but mostly, when you're really into something and you have that this is so hard point of view, um, it's a lot more intense. So that's person B. Now there's person A. Person A also broke their leg, but they also broke their hip. And the person A is like, oh my God, I am so grateful to be alive. I am so happy that, I got the care that I needed. I'm so grateful that my body knows what to do with this. I just got to rest. And okay, cool. What can I do now? Maybe I can just watch some movies. Maybe I can just sleep. If it's too intense, maybe I can pop a pill and just allow my body to do what it does. So person A also acknowledges what's going on as intense, but never even thinks that this is so hard. So do you notice the difference in energy even just as I'm talking about this? The difference of energy when we take the point of view, this is so hard. And yes, I do wanna emphasize even more now that this is so hard, my dear. When you get there, it's not a fact, it's just a point of view that you're taking. We're not diminishing anything that's intense for you, we're just inviting you to look at, is it serving you to use those words with yourself? And this is also not about now starting to censor yourself. No, this is about bringing to your awareness, what are some ways we talk to ourselves? What are some narratives we have going on in our own mind that might even sometimes come across in the conversations that we have with people? And really inviting curiosity in that space. What if instead of judging yourself, or what if instead of looking at, okay, cool, so this is so hard is the wrong way to live. By the way, I'm not saying that, and it's not a wrong way to live. It's a way to live. It's a point of view to take. Look at it for you. Does having that point of view that this is so hard create anything? What does it create when you are functioning from the point of view that this is so hard? And the whole world could agree, people can come and sympathize, but is it moving things forward? Would you like to move things forward? What would you like there in that place, in that situation that is intense for you? What would be generative? What would create something different? And if we take the point of view or almost marry the point of view that this is so hard, which appears to be true, and many people would agree and align and agree with you. But when we take that point of view, what is that creating? Is that creating any change? Or is that creating solidification of what is just a point of view? It's not a reality. So, what if it doesn't have to be hard? And I know this can be a sensitive thing to hear for a lot of people because I don't know what you have going on, and I have shit go on a lot of times where if someone was to come and tell me that, "Hey, you're saying this is so hard, but that's just a point of view," I would just wanna punch that person, right? So I get it, and at the same time, I just wanna invite you to just start looking at this. Is hard even when you're believing it so at from the very bottom of your being maybe, when you're believing that point of view or taking that point of view, is that actually a fact or a reality? What what are the matter of facts in that situation? What is going on? What is it that you're finding difficult to deal with? And what would allow it to be a little bit easier, a little bit better for you? And I can just guarantee you, at the risk of being punched in my face, telling yourself this is so hard is not gonna get you there, my friend. So whatever it is that is hard for you, let's not judge ourselves for it. Once again, we're not here to do something right, just here to have more awareness of what's actually going on. And to ask ourselves, is this way of looking at things, is this way of functioning working for me? And if it is not working for you, then just, you know, have it opens up the doorway to a completely different conversation with yourself. So, my friends, that is my little sermon on what is hard for you right now today. And if there is something that's hard for you, I am sending you lots of warm energies and really a lot of awareness your way for you to recognize that you got this, my friend. And whatever it is that's hard for you, what if you strip away the point of view of it being hard and you can literally just be curious with yourself, like, okay, isn't it interesting that I have the point of view that this thing that's going on is hard? Does it have to be? What else could I have as a point of view with this that would create more, that would release this solidity a little bit and open up space for a different possibility to show up? All right, my friend, on that note, I'll take your leave for today and look out for more of these lives because I plan to do them more here. And I'd love to know who is here, where you're joining from. So say hello to me and let's go create our lives. You don't have to be perfect, but you just need the choice to be aware, more aware every single day. Bye.